My name is Victoria Hale, and the day he humiliated me, I was wearing a $40 thrift store blazer, on purpose. I stood in the lobby of Hale Dynamics, a multi-million-dollar tech manufacturing company. My company, but no one in that building knew that, not even him, especially not him. Across the lobby, Ethan Caldwell, CEO of Hale Dynamics, walked in like he owned oxygen itself. Tailored navy suit, gold watch, smile sharp enough to cut glass. Employees straightened the moment he passed. "Morning, Mr. Caldwell." He barely nodded, then his eyes landed on me. He looked me up and down slowly. "Interview?" he asked the receptionist. "Yes, sir," she said, "marketing associate." Ethan smirked. "To be clear," he said loudly enough for the room to hear, "we're a multi-million-dollar corporation, not a charity." Heat crept up my neck. "I'm aware," I replied calmly. He tilted his head. "That blazer, is that vintage?" There were soft chuckles from nearby employees. "It's functional," I answered. "Right," he said. "Let's hope your skills are more current." The elevator doors opened. "Come," he said, like I was already beneath him. Inside the boardroom, executives lined the table. Ethan didn't even offer me water. He leaned back in his chair. "So, Victoria, why should we hire someone who clearly doesn't understand professional presentation?" A board member shifted uncomfortably. I folded my hands. "I believe results matter more than labels." "Labels matter to investors," Ethan snapped. "Image matters. If you walked into a pitch meeting dressed like that, they'd assume we were failing." There it was. The assumption, failure. "I assure you," I said quietly, "appearances can be misleading." He chuckled. "Yes, they can." He closed my resume without reading the second page. "I don't think you're a fit." Silence fell. "But thank you for coming in." Dismissed. I stood. "Of course," I said politely. As I reached the door, he added, "Next time, try dressing for the job you want." I paused, then turned slightly. "And next time," I said softly, "try seeing the person in front of you." The room went still, but he only smirked. The next morning, the entire executive team was summoned to an emergency board meeting. Ethan walked in irritated. "What's so urgent?" he demanded. The chairman cleared his throat. "We're welcoming the majority shareholder today." Ethan frowned. "We've never met them." "That's about to change." The doors opened. I stepped in. This time in a tailored ivory suit. He went pale. "Good morning," I said calmly. "Victoria Hale, founder's daughter, majority owner of Hale Dynamics." The silence was suffocating. Ethan blinked. "That's not possible." "My father stepped down last year," I continued. "He wanted leadership evaluated without bias, including yours." I walked to the head of the table, the chair he always occupied. "And yesterday," I added gently, "I conducted my evaluation." His voice cracked slightly. "You tricked me." "No," I said. "I gave you an opportunity." Ethan stood abruptly. "You humiliated me in front of the board." A soft breath of disbelief escaped me. "Humiliated you," I repeated. "You humiliated yourself." He swallowed. "You judged me based on my clothes. You looked unprepared. I looked human." The board watched carefully. "I built this company with my father from a 2-room warehouse," I continued. "We met investors in borrowed suits. We survived because people believed in ideas, not fabric." Ethan's confidence cracked. "I've increased profits 32% in 2 years, he argued. "Yes," I agreed, "but employee turnover increased 48%. He froze. "You manage numbers," I said softly, "not people." The room was silent. Finally, I asked, "Tell me something, Ethan. If I had walked in yesterday wearing this suit, would you have treated me differently?" He couldn't answer, because we both knew the truth. 2 weeks later, I called him into my office. He looked different, less polished, more aware. "I owe you an apology," he said quietly. "For?" For assuming, for reducing you to a first impression. I studied him. Why do you lead with intimidation? I asked. He exhaled slowly. Because I grew up with nothing, he admitted. And when I finally had power, I was afraid of losing it. There it was. Fear disguised as arrogance. I'm not firing you, I said. His eyes widened. You're not? No, but you're not untouchable either. I slid a folder across the desk. Leadership Reform Plan, Employee Engagement Overhaul, Community Outreach Programs. You'll implement these, I said firmly, or I will replace you. He nodded. Yes, ma'am. I stood. And Ethan? Yes? Never make someone feel small just to feel big. Months later, I walked through the lobby again. Same building, different energy. Employees laughed, teams collaborated, turnover dropped. Ethan approached a young intern in worn-out shoes. Instead of mocking him, he said, "Tell me about your ideas." I watched quietly. He had learned. And sometimes, that's the real victory. You see, the way you treat people, when you think they have nothing, says everything about who you are, because respect isn't about status, it's about character, and the person you underestimate today might be the one signing your paycheck tomorrow.